I don't think I need to talk to you about the various multiple intelligences, but the two that are most important for us in the context that we're talking are interpersonal and intrapersonal. Being emotionally intelligent is a combination of the two. So when I start out asking you, what do you feel when? Yeah, it's an intrapersonal intelligence. Do I really know? Have I taken the time? Do I have the words to describe? And it's not just about how I feel, but also my ability to understand what the other person feels. Yeah? How do they feel at different points of time? And when I can combine the two and use that to help me behave in a manner which is congruent with how I feel or how the other person feels, then I'm being emotionally intelligent. So it's a combination of the intra and the interpersonal. As a child, you know what you're feeling. Yeah? And you don't do things, you don't do games with your feelings. You also have words to describe. But as I grow older, I start playing all kinds of interesting games with my feelings. One thing we do with our feelings is we ignore them. I'm feeling angry, but I kind of tell to myself, I'm not feeling angry. Or I deflect it. I'm feeling angry with you, but you seem really dangerous, so I show it to him. And I'm sure we all do this all the time. The other thing we do is we bottle them. Yeah, I'm feeling angry, but I don't have time to feel angry right now, so later. So one, then second, then third, then fourth, then fifth. That's another thing we do with our emotions. The other interesting thing we do with our emotions is, when children are less than 2, when you hide something, they actually believe it is gone. So we also do a little bit like that with our emotions. So I feel really, really attracted to you, I hide it. And assuming that attraction is gone because I hid it. Does it go away? No, it doesn't. We could do something very simple, which actually you can see 4 or 5-year-olds do. When they feel, they feel. You try taking the attention away. Take an apple. Okay, they throw away the apple. Because they're feeling angry at that point of time. And they'll feel. And about 15, 20, 30, 45 minutes, gone. We could do the same. I could feel. And when I feel, I don't have to always show it to the other person. I can just feel angry. I can just sit and feel angry. It's not going to be there forever. It's in my body. It will pass through. Yeah, it's a neural impulse. But because we have learned all the dysfunctional things about how feelings are so and so, we will distract ourselves, we will distract others, we will feel ashamed, we will feel guilty, we will deflect, we will hide, we will do all of this. And as a result, what could have been very simple, which is to just feel your emotion for as long as you feel it, and then it's gone. And then you could be much more in control of how you want to deal with it. Yeah? So emotions, very simple. It's about your heart and your head having coffee together all the time. It's not about saying that it's only my feeling. I'm not talking about it. I cannot exist without my head. It's a very important evolutionary thing that has happened to us. In fact, the amoeba and the humans share a part of the brain which is common, and that is the amygdala. The amygdala is somewhere here, and it has one function. It is always in a constant state of readiness to fight or fly. It is always evaluating, is this dangerous? And if it is dangerous, should I fly away from here or should I dig my heels and fight it? Up till the monkey, the dog, the chimpanzee, that remains the most important mode of decision making. For humans, we also have that part of our brain, but it's a much smaller part of our brain. In fact, we have a much better developed cerebrum and the cerebellum, which is often can be equated to being an air traffic controller, which tells me, yes, this looks dangerous, but I don't have to run away or I don't have to dig my heels and fight it. I can possibly have a different reaction to this. I can respond to it differently. One other way to think about it is if I had a plastic lizard or a plastic cockroach right now at you with me and I'd thrown it at you, what would you have done? Scream, right? It's a reaction. But your brain can actually tell you, why would she carry a live cockroach and a live, lizard in her hand? So it must be plastic, and she's throwing it in a conference, so it must be just a demonstration. So I don't really need to be scared of it. So I can use my brain along with my immediate emotion, which means I can choose not to react but respond. But in most cases, when somebody tells me something which is not really nice to me, I almost react like they have thrown a cockroach at me. I don't let my brain to work with me to say, okay, this looks really insulting, but I think I can respond to it rather than react to it. Being emotionally intelligent is having both of them work together with you. In fact, when I'm not in charge of my emotions, we have sometimes, and many of us have it often when we are tired or we are really depleted and so on and so forth, is what is called an amygdala hijack. I suddenly have no access to the rest of my brain, and my amygdala hijacks me and says, okay, this looks really dangerous, now start shouting. And at home we have many hijacks. I'm sure we all know that, right? So what happens is I'm no longer really in touch with myself. And I'm not using all of my faculties to respond to a situation, but I have my little part of the brain, which is a tiny, tiny part of the brain, actually hijack my entire being. Being emotionally intelligent is having fewer hijacks. When there is a stimulus, there is going to be an emotion that is physiological. Fortunately, I have a filter in my brain which helps me see what this is about, which helps me interpret, which then allows me to behave in a way that would maximize relationships, optimize the kind of relationship we have with each other. Many times when I talk about emotional intelligence, people say, is this about being manipulative? It's not about being manipulative. It's actually about knowing what I feel and using that knowledge to help me decide how I want to respond to this situation. So manipulation is when I feel angry and I put a big smile and say, I'm not angry with you. That is manipulation. That's not true. Yeah? But when I'm emotionally intelligent, I'm integral. I'm actually saying what I'm feeling. I'm actually acting the way I'm feeling, and I'm thinking the way I'm feeling. All of these, the thought, action, and feeling are balanced. All of us could have possibly, and I'll take another way to think about it, all of us could have possibly been good at whatever we are not good at today. Like I didn't learn physics very well when I was in class 8, 9, and 10. And the reason was because I could never connect to my teacher. In fact, even today, there are things that I learn because I connect to them, and things that I cannot learn because I cannot connect to them. Children learn things that they can connect to. They often learn things from the teacher that they can connect to. Not necessarily because they're very good at it or they're not very good at it. If it's a teacher that they connect to, they'll actually put in more effort and they'll learn better. All learning has an emotional base. It's as fundamental as that. Being emotionally intelligent, it's actually about having the capacity to create optimal results in my relationships by taking my feeling and my thinking both into account. This is a definition that possibly some of you have read in other contexts. Emotional intelligence is the capacity to recognize my own feelings, those of others, both for motivating myself and for managing emotions in other people. So I use my emotions both for myself and for other people, and therefore create optimal results. And that's why the combination between interpersonal and interpersonal.